Hey beautiful people, this video is about how to find work you're passionate about. The answer to that really is not in stumbling upon or finding your dream job. It is much more about trial and error, testing and building clarity. Let's talk about that in this video. I'm Jennifer Kenny. I'm the best-selling author of The Innovation Mindset and award-winning author of 100% Capacity. I work with teams in highly complex technical and scientific environments, and I work to help them make their projects successful. I work with the leadership to help them develop their leadership capacity so that they can build environments of trust, customer satisfaction and innovation, and ultimately project success. I did another video on a similar topic to this one, and it's called how to find passion in your work. And I think the thinking that we can find work that we're passionate about almost implies that there's a job out there waiting for us, and it's the job that we're going to be passionate about, and all we have to do is find it. I think if you think about that, you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice, because in reality, passion is something that comes very much from you. It comes very much from what you care about, what really kind of hooks itself into you, what you're aligned around, and how it plays to your values and your strengths and your capabilities. And so what I'd encourage you to think about in terms of passion and work is to think about it almost like trying on a new jacket or trying on a new suit or going and buying a new dress. When you go into the store, you might go, oh, I like this one, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. I'm going to try this one on. Oh, this one's closer. Oh, this one's the right color, but it's not the right size. And you go through this process of trial and error that really allows you to be able to hone your understanding of what you look good in. And a job that you're passionate about, think about it as a job you look good in. Think about it as a job that brings you joy, that you feel confident in, that you feel good in. So you know when you've bought something that you really like, that you consistently go back to, that your friends give you compliments on, that you feel really good in, and you might have 2 or 3 or 4 of those pieces in your wardrobe, and everything else is just the day-to-day stuff, or the stuff that doesn't really inspire you. Think about how you think about work in a similar way. You're looking for something that amplifies you, that fits you, that speaks to your strengths, that makes you look, handsome, elegant, beautiful, tall, thin, sporty, whatever it is you want to look. But you've got to know what that is. And then you've got to deal with the practicalities of how you actually show up in the world. And then you've got to figure out where those things come together. So when you think about finding work that you're passionate about, think about it as trying stuff on to see whether or not it fits you, and also using that experience to reflect on what are your values, what matters to you, what do you want to contribute, how do you want to be seen and perceived in the world, what do you want to pursue for, it might be 20, 30, 40 years of your life, and it might be 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day. That's a lot of your life. So you want to build your discernment capacity to the point where you are able to not just be interviewed for a job, but interview people for a job, because you're very clear on what it is that you're looking for, as you're looking for something that you really care about and that really inspires passion in you and brings you joy. So one of the ways to start doing that, and we're going to talk about 5 different things that I think will help you here, is to know what are your energizers and what are your drainers. So you might go through a cycle of a month and you might say, I want to look at what brings me joy at work. I want to look at what boosts me up, what makes me go home feeling really great, what makes me want to call my friends and tell them I had a great day at work, what makes me proud if I have kids at home, that I'm going home and telling them about what it is that I do. And then also look at what drains you, what wears you down, what exhausts you. Now, we're not all going to have ups all the time, and we're not all going to have downs all the time. We are going to have some balance of those things. But there are certain things that just consistently drain you over time, and those things are worth avoiding. Those things are worth recognizing and worth knowing that they're not along the lines of, I need to floss my teeth every day and this is just part of being alive. That there's something that just consistently erodes your sense of self and your passion and your vibrancy around life and work. As you do that, you become more discerning for yourself around what it is that really matches you and what you really want in the world and at work. The other thing is you might have ended up in a particular industry, and I strongly recommend that you don't just research jobs, that you actually research entire industries. And the reason for that is different industries have very different cadence, very different energy around them. So, for example, high tech is fast moving, is very much kind of cut and burn, is very much meritocracy. If you're not good, you get kicked off the team. It's a pretty tough environment to work in. It's not a slow-paced, methodical, thoughtful environment. There's a big difference between that and, say, an academic environment where people are spending a lot of time thinking and they're spending less time doing than they are necessarily thinking. Or if you're working in a medical environment where you're doing research, or whether or not you're working in an emergency ward in a hospital where you've got that same level of frenetic work going on. So figure out what fits you and your cadence and your style and your preferences, and know on an industry basis where it is that you really want to be able to land, and recognize even within your own industry there are going to be huge variations in terms of the energy, the cadence, the focus, the care, the ambition, the speed, the opportunity. All of those things factor in terms of you identifying what it is that's really going to bring you joy and make you passionate about what it is, what you want to do at work. The other thing to look at is test it in small increments. So be conscious and mindful around what it is that you're testing. You're not going to just suddenly land yourself in the perfect job with the perfect boss and the perfect teammates, and everything is just going to be completely hunky-dory. You might, if you're really, really lucky, but you'd be right up there with the lottery winners from a probability standpoint. But what you will do over time is you will start framing out what matters and framing out what brings you joy. So for one person, it might be, look, I really need to get on well with my teammates. I want to be able to go for, supper with them on Fridays. I want to be able to contact them outside of work. Building almost family around me at work is a really important thing for me. It isn't for me, but it might be for you. And that might be something that you look to go, this is going to be kind of my center of gravity in terms of how I identify opportunities and jobs that I want to work in. And someone else who would be more like me might go, look, I really like to get on well with the people I work with. I enjoy them, but I don't need to make them family. I already have a big family and I'm totally good with that. And so I don't necessarily look for that at work. What I look for at work is I need to have a really good boss who's really able to leverage me, who's really able to listen to me, who's really able to work with me, and who isn't playing the command and control game and really co-invents and designs with me and brings my capabilities to the table and pushes me a little bit to be able to deliver more value for the company and for the team. So depending on what it is going to support your overall well-being at work and your sense of joy at work, that's what's going to help you really identify what technically or what intellectually is something that you can be truly passionate about. The other thing to do is to recognize and network with other people who have declared already what they're passionate about. So let me explain what I mean by that. Deloitte says that 80% of opportunities come through networking. Now that's huge. And that networking might be networking on LinkedIn. They don't say whether it's physical or virtual networking. But what it means is that if you can declare what you're about, and you can recognize what other people are about, then you'll begin to recognize opportunities for you to be able to connect with them, and you'll have different kinds of conversations around what it is that you're doing, what kind of work you're looking for, what kind of opportunity you seek, what you really want to expand in terms of you found your area of passion and you want to continue to grow that. So one of the things that I'm passionate about is I'm passionate about gender equity in the workplace. And the reason for that is that drives innovation. I've been working in the innovation space for over 30 years at this point. And innovation to me is something that enhances people's lives significantly in leaps and bounds year over year. It's a really high return on investment, and there's significant data to support this, is that if we're able to listen to each other and work effectively together, gender balanced teams can drive some incredible innovation impact. So I talk to people about that. I have a commitment to get a million women promoted and hopefully a million men at the same time. But I want to get people promoted who understand how to be able to work together. That's part of why I do this YouTube video. It's part of why I run a Get Promoted program. It's part of why I've built relationships and alliances with organizations like the HBA, which is the Healthcare Business Women's Association. And I'm looking to be able to identify something that I really care about and be able to talk to other people about it, you all included, thank you. And then recognize that other people who care about that will come to me and go, I'd love to work with you on this. I want your help with this. What do you think about this? Can you engage me with this? Can you introduce me to these people? How can there be give and take and reciprocity in that space of other people who are passionate about things that you're passionate about too? The other thing to recognize when you are looking to find work that you're passionate about is it's not an immediate thing. It's not an overnight thing. You're doing two things at once, which are both hard to do. One is you're getting to know yourself better. You're getting to understand what you care about. You're getting to understand what brings you joy, what brings you passion. And you're doing the same thing for a huge amount of work environments, for different people on team, for different leaders, different industries, different ways of working, different kinds of organizations. And then you're trying to find the perfect intersection between all of those. The cool thing about it is you're a highly adaptable human. Most humans are. And there are multiple different opportunities where that could actually work out really well for you. The most important thing that you can do, I believe, is that you sit down, you really get to understand yourself better, and you begin to say to yourself, what do I want to drip feed for a lifetime that will be something that will grow and enhance my passion, that I will be appreciated by others for in my industry, that I will contribute into in my industry, and that ultimately will bring me an enormous amount of joy and will allow me to be truly passionate and proud about what it is that I do. As you start thinking about this, I have a free promotion readiness assessment. It'll help you think about what are the things that you care about. It'll help you think about whether or not you're ready to move to the next level. It'll help you think about the idea of designing work that you really want to do, trying on different opportunities and honing in on that, who am I in the world and what do I have to offer. It's on my website. It's www.jenniferkenny.com. It's under the free resources tab, and it's a promotion readiness assessment. Do it as a way to help you reflect on what it is you care about and what you might be passionate about. Let me know how it goes. And as you look to do this, first of all, I admire the hell out of you for wanting to be passionate about what it is that you do. We need more people like you in the world, and I wish you the absolute best of luck with it as you explore and find out, and I hope you land successfully. Take care.